because it was just such an iconic moment that, like, to think that we got to be a part of that was just incredibly special.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide. No escape from reality.
So what was your relationship, your first memory of Queen?
Hearing them on the radio. I grew up in the 80s as well, and I just remember the first time I heard Bohemian Rhapsody, and the beauty of it and the art of it, the creativity, made me think about music in a very different way.
No one will play us on the radio.
We need to get experimental.
Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me.
Do it again. One more.
How many more Galileos do you want?
Roger, there's only room in this band for one hysterical queen.
Queen was something that kept sort of popping up in my life. When I was very young, it was sort of the grunge era, so it was like Nirvana and sort of Pearl Jam, very serious, sort of dour music, where I'd just be like, you don't get it, or just like lock myself in my room and be sad. But once I got over that ridiculousness and realized that Queen was so celebratory and their music was so intricate and they crossed boundaries and genres and their lyrics and their sound was just soaring and epic, it just like, my fandom has just gone like this to the point where, like, about 5 years ago I made a film and as a director, and every day going to set I would listen to Somebody to Love to pump myself up and to get myself ready for that day. And now to be a part of this legacy in any small way is just like the thrill of a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, I had an older brother, so he was a big Queen fan and introduced me to a lot of their music, and it was the soundtrack to many road trips on family holidays. But yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen too many live performances of theirs until researching this film, really, and so went on the internet and watched so many of their live performances and realised that that was their real power. They're great recorded artists, but really live, they're like no other. And Freddie's ability to engage with so many people at once and make it feel like he's singing to you individually is quite superhuman, I think. It's amazing.
I think of the sound of Queen, the stomp stomp clap of We Will Rock You, after seeing that Heath Ledger film A Knight's Tale.
I want to give the audience a song that they can perform.
What's the lyric?
But for me, Brian May was always the face of Queen. And so to discover them and Freddie through this script was a real education.
Maybe it's because I grew up in England as well. You just know about Queen, and it's partly through your parents, but I don't know, it just goes in through osmosis. It's kind of every sports stadium, they play We Will Rock You, not every, but a lot of adverts on TV, they'll have a Queen song, it'll be in the soundtrack to movies, to whatever. It's just, you can't help but know the story, and occasionally Freddie Mercury comes up and people talk about it and talk about their experience of Queen. So I kind of always felt like I knew Queen before I even really listened to them consciously.
And then just seeing him stand up there, Freddie and Queen, at Live Aid, played back, and see how they just held the audience in the palm of their hand and had that relationship with an audience like no other band on earth was something that's lasted with me and something we got to incorporate in the film quite a bit.
You're a legend, Fred.
We're all legends.
On the